The first time I saw her, the sky was on fire. Alien ships filled the horizon like black glass daggers, blotting out the sun. The invasion of Velis Prime, our last forward base before the Outer Rim, had begun. I was a lieutenant then. Mark Wren, Human Marine, Earth Coalition Forces. My squad was stationed near the medical outpost outside the Capitol Dome. Our orders were simple: protect the evacuees at all costs. But when the Zyreth Empire descended, there was no protection, only survival. The Zyreth were unlike anything we'd faced. Bioluminescent, humanoid, with crystalline armor fused into their skin. They didn't use bullets or bombs. They sang, emitting harmonic frequencies that could melt steel and shatter bone. One note, and entire battalions fell silent. We called them Angels of Death. But I learned they were more than that. The first week of the siege, our outpost was hit. I barely made it out alive, dragging a wounded comrade through the burning wreckage. That's when I saw her alone, trapped beneath the collapsed frame of her own downed vessel. Her armor glowed faintly violet through the smoke. She looked terrified. An alien, but not a monster. I raised my rifle. She raised her hand, not to attack, to shield her face. Her voice came through the translator, weak but clear. Please help. I hesitated. Every instinct screamed enemy, but something in her eyes, glassy and pale silver, spoke of pain, not malice. I dropped my weapon, tore through the debris, and freed her. She was badly injured, one wing shattered, body leaking bioluminescent fluid. I dragged her to the med dome, ignoring the shouts of my own squad. She looked at me as if I'd done the impossible. Human, why? Because no one deserves to die like that, I said. I never knew her name. After the med evac, she was gone, taken by her people when the ceasefire fell days later. The war ended in a whisper. Neither side claimed victory. Just silence. I thought I'd never see her again. I was wrong. 10 years later. A decade passed. I left the military and joined the Interstellar Coalition, a diplomatic branch formed to prevent more wars. Peace, they called it. Paper thin and fragile. When they told me I'd been selected for an escort mission to Zyreth Prime, I almost laughed. The irony was cruel. Humans had barely been allowed on their world since the truce, but now a delegation was invited to attend the coronation of their new queen. We boarded the diplomatic cruiser Odyssey, a sleek vessel filled with politicians and scientists, pretending not to fear what lay ahead. I was assigned as the security liaison, mostly symbolic, someone who'd been there during the First War. As we entered Zyreth space, their capital world unfolded before us, a luminous planet wrapped in crystal rings. The cities floated on clouds of light, their architecture alive with song. It was breathtaking and unnerving. When we disembarked, we were greeted by honor guards, tall, radiant beings whose armor shimmered in patterns that changed with their breathing. In the center of them stood a figure cloaked in violet. The alien queen. I couldn't see her face at first, only the light emanating from her crown, a fractal halo that pulsed with her heartbeat. When she stepped forward, the delegation bowed. My translator buzzed as her voice filled the hall. We welcome the Terran delegation to Zyreth Prime. May our harmonies align. Her tone was calm, regal, familiar. My chest tightened. It couldn't be. But then she turned her eyes toward me. Silver eyes. The same I'd seen through the fire 10 years ago. She froze mid-sentence. For a fraction of a second, the entire chamber seemed to still. Her expression changed: recognition, disbelief, something like longing. The Queen of Zyreth remembered me. The Queen's request. After the ceremony, the delegation was escorted to the upper citadel for the diplomatic banquet. But before I could follow the others, one of her attendants approached. A tall, blue-skinned Zyreth with obsidian eyes. The queen requests a private audience. Immediately, my heart hammered. Is that standard protocol? He gave no answer, only a nod that felt more like a command. They led me through winding corridors of living crystal, where the walls pulsed faintly like veins under translucent skin. At last, we entered a chamber filled with a soft violet glow. The queen stood at the balcony, overlooking her city. Without turning, she spoke. 10 cycles ago, on Velis Prime, a human saved me from death. I have never forgotten. Her words carried no hesitation. My throat went dry. That was you, I said quietly. She turned, her crown refracting 1,000 shades of light. She was taller than I remembered, her features refined, regal, but those eyes were the same. You knew what I was, she said. Yet you helped me. I couldn't just let you die. She stepped closer, her movements fluid as starlight. Among my kind, that act created a bond. A debt. I searched for you after the truce, but your name was lost among the dead. I forced a weak smile. Guess I wasn't easy to find. Her hand hovered inches from my face. I could feel the warmth radiating from her, like standing near a star. You are different from the others, she said softly. Your kind fights for conquest. You fought for compassion. Her words hit deeper than I expected. What's your name? I asked. She hesitated, then smiled faintly. I am Queen Saralyn of the Zyreth. But once, I was just Sarah. The name echoed through me. Sarah. It suited her. You remembered, I whispered. Always, she said. Even when you forgot me. I didn't know what to say. But before I could speak again, her tone shifted. You must leave the city at once, Mark Wren. What? There are those who do not want peace. They see your presence as a threat. They will move against the humans tonight. The warning chilled me. You're saying there's going to be an attack? She nodded gravely. An uprising. Against me and your delegation. I clenched my fists. Then I'm not leaving you here to face it alone. Her eyes flared with emotion. Fear. Anger. Something deeper. You cannot fight them. They will kill you. Maybe, I said. But I already saved your life once. Might as well keep the record consistent. A moment passed. Then she smiled, softly, sadly. You haven't changed. Middle. The night of fire. When the attack came, it was like history repeating itself. Explosions rocked the lower citadel. Alarms blared in harmonic tones, rising and falling like a deadly chorus. The attackers, Zyreth extremists, stormed the Grand Hall, their armor glowing red instead of blue. Their leader shouted a phrase my translator barely caught. Purity before peace. Saralyn stood tall, unflinching. Her guards formed a shield wall around her, but she raised a hand. No blood on sacred ground, she commanded. They ignored her. I drew my blaster. Looks like negotiations are over. I fired, stunning one of the assailants. The others turned their sonic weapons on me. The blast knocked me into the wall, ears ringing, vision swimming. I saw Saralyn step forward, unleashing a pulse of violet light that sent the attackers crashing backward. Her power was devastating, pure sound and energy intertwined. But there were too many. I scrambled to my feet and fought beside her. We weren't soldiers and queen anymore, just two beings standing against chaos. She sang, her voice a weapon, her harmonics slicing through the air. I matched her movements, using the corridors to flank the enemy. When their sonic field caught me again, my body burned with pain. I fell hard. Through blurred vision, I saw one of the rebels raise a spear of energy above me. Then, in a flash of violet light, Saralyn was there, shielding me with her own body. The blast struck her instead. She collapsed into my arms, her form flickering. "Sarah," I shouted. "No, no, no, stay with me." Her eyes dimmed. "You saved me again." I tore a healing module from my belt, pressing it to her chest.
"Don't talk."
"You're going to be okay." Her hand reached for mine, trembling. "The harmony must continue. Promise me you'll protect them. Both worlds." "I will," I said fiercely. "But not without you." Then I felt it, the pulse of energy between us. The translator flickered, translating not words, but emotion. A connection formed, just as it had years ago. Her body glowed brighter, her energy intertwining with mine. Pain surged through me, but I didn't let go. Her voice echoed in my mind, soft, melodic. Our frequencies align, human and Zyreth one. And then the world went white, ending the queen who remembered. When I woke, I was in the royal infirmary. My body ached, my head pounding like thunder. Zyreth healers hovered nearby, murmuring in harmonics. I tried to sit up. Where's the queen?" The healer's eyes flickered sadly. "She saved your life, Taryn. She gave her resonance to sustain yours." "No," I whispered. "She can't be gone." But before despair consumed me, a familiar light filled the room. The air shimmered, and a holographic projection materialized, her face serene and luminous. "Mark," her recorded voice said softly, "if you see this, I am no longer part of the harmony of flesh, but I live in the resonance of this world. You are my echo, my proof that compassion can transcend the stars." Tears stung my eyes. Around me, the healers bowed deeply. By her final decree, one said, "You are recognized as the guardian of harmony. You carry her song." Later, as I stood on the balcony overlooking Zyreth's luminous skyline, I heard it, the faint hum of her melody in the air. It wasn't just memory. It was real. The city itself sang her name. Peace followed. The uprising was crushed. The humans and Zyreth strengthened their alliance, building the accord of 2 sons, named in her honor. Years passed, but I returned every year to that same balcony. And sometimes on quiet nights, I swear I can feel her there beside me, the warmth of her light touching my hand. "You thought I'd forgotten," her voice whispers in memory, but I never did. I smile at the stars, the same color as her eyes. "Neither did I, Sarah." Epilogue, the song between stars. On the anniversary of the Accord, the Coalition unveiled the Harmonic Beacon, a monument designed to broadcast a message across galaxies. Its signal was simple, a melody composed from 2 heartbeats, one human and one Zyreth. They called it the Queen's Song. And somewhere, across the infinite reaches of space, I hope she hears it and remembers the human who once pulled her from the fire and who never forgot her. Because even in the silence between stars, her song still plays in my heart.